We begin CBS 2 News at 11 with breaking news. A shooting at an oceanfront home in Redondo Beach. At least one person has been shot.
CBS 2's Joy Benedict is live at the scene with this breaking story. Joy?
Yeah, Susie, Jeff, certainly some tense moments out here in this beach community. We are live right now on Esplanade and Avenue B. You can see investigators with Redondo Beach have the entire area roped off right now as they are trying to figure out exactly what led up to this officer-involved shooting. I want to show you first some video from high up above in Sky 2. This was taken just after the shooting. You can see that they are taking a man to the ambulance. We are told that is the man who was shot by officers here in Redondo Beach. But certainly some very tense moments after all of this. We are told the call originally came in as some sort of a domestic violence call, and our cameras caught some very tense moments between the folks inside the home and neighbors who called 911.
You guys shot him! You guys shot my son and killed him! You killed my son! I hope your neighbors are happy you killing my son.
Now, we want to make it very clear, no one has died. We have not been told that the man who was taken away by ambulance died here on the scene, despite what was said in that nat sound. But here's some ground video from a short time afterwards, and you can see that it was very chaotic with neighbors coming out, people confused. Investigators tell us they got the call just after 9 o'clock in the evening. Several 911 calls reporting domestic disturbances, domestic violence here in the area. We're told this is a single family home, meaning one family lives here. When officers responded, they say they saw a man outside with a weapon and they started shooting.
We received several 911 calls regarding a domestic violence. Came out as like a family fight for officers to respond to. Officers did respond code 3 to this location based on the number of the 911 calls. And again, when they arrived on scene, they did encounter a subject who was armed, and an officer-involved shooting did occur.
Now, it's not clear yet if that man who police say was armed fired a weapon or was just holding that weapon in a threatening manner. All of that is part of this investigation. And Redondo Beach is actually turning the investigation over to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. They are holding the scene right now. Those sheriff's deputies are expected to arrive here at some point this evening to begin their investigation into the officer-involved shooting. But again, guys, before I let you go, no officer was injured in this officer-involved shooting. We are told that one man from inside the home, who police say had a weapon, was injured and shot and taken to a local hospital. His condition is unknown at this hour. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Joy, thank you. We have more breaking news tonight. A scary night for a Prius driver. The car suddenly caught fire at the corner of Olive and 12th Street.
CBS 2's Hermela Awagawi is live for us at the scene, where she just talked to one of the passengers there.
Good evening, Jeff, Susie. This is really a bizarre car accident that could happen to anyone. What we do know is that an electric box covered is what caused this, something that looks like a manhole when you're driving down the street. Police tell us initially they got a call around 9:04 of a car accident. When they arrived, let us show you what they came to. They found that it was not a car accident. They tell us a Prius had driven over an electric box cover and caught on fire. LAPD tells us the bolts that hold the cover gave way, and when the car drove over it, a portion of the cover popped up and hit the Prius in such a way that it caused the car to catch fire. The trunk door of the Prius looks like it is melted. A lot of the back of the car had obvious signs of burn damage. We spoke to the passenger that was inside, and he says initially he was very confused about what was happening. He says the back of the car felt like it was going into the ground. Let's take a listen.
I thought someone hit us, actually. I thought someone either hit us from the parking lot, or I thought, well, someone hit us. I didn't think we basically fell into the through the manhole or what have you. I just saw basically a trail of flames, like Back to the Future.
Fortunately, he and the driver were not injured. We just saw that Prius get towed away, and right now the fire department is here. The Department of Water and Power is here trying to figure out exactly how this happened. Reporting live in downtown LA, Hermela Awagawi, CBS 2 News.
Hermela, thank you. Now to a local man who was attacked by a great white shark this morning off Sandspit Beach in Los Osos. That's up in the Central Coast, south of Morro Bay. Now, take a look at Nick Wapner's surfboard.
Oh.
Yep, the teeth marks all around the end of it. Wapner's from Palos Verdes. He attends Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. The Santa Barbara Tribune says the shark bit his right ankle and his left thigh. So he is nursing about 50 stitches tonight. Rangers say he fought off that shark by kicking it with his other leg.
Well, now turning to our weather, another round of rain is expected to hit parts of Southern California tomorrow.
Ahead of the expected rain, sandbags were set up for Malibu homeowners to start filling up. Those homeowners can go to a lot, which is at Zumirez Drive and Wildlife Road. It's just off PCH, right near LA County Fire Station number 7.
And let's go to CBS 2's Garth Kemp, who's tracking tomorrow's wet weather. Garth?
Yeah, well, most of this action from this system should stay to the north. Shouldn't be a problem for the burn areas here. But get your sandbags if you haven't done that. Get things in order because we're going to start a series of days that will bring some rain beginning late Friday night all the way in possibly through next Tuesday or Wednesday. Several different areas of rain that'll be moving through the area. That's what we're going to watch. 54 degrees right now downtown. We're hovering beautifully into the low 50s everywhere. High deserts 39. Mountains relatively warm for this time of night. 32 degrees. We'll talk about the rain. We'll show it to you. It's all coming up in just a little bit. Back to you, too.
Garth, thanks very much. President Trump used the power of the Oval Office to push for his border wall tonight.
That's right. Democratic leaders accused Mr. Trump of holding America hostage and costing federal workers their livelihoods. Tonight, CBS 2 political reporter Dave Bryant has the very latest on the government shutdown, Dave.
And if you watch these addresses tonight, not much common ground, right, between the two. This could go on a long time. On the 18th day of the partial government shutdown, there was no love lost as President Trump and Democratic leaders took to primetime TV in the East and Midwest. Both sides talking to a national audience, each blaming the other for the shutdown and the deadlock over building a border wall.
There is a growing humanitarian and security crisis at our southern border.
Speaking from the Oval Office, President Trump Tuesday night defended his hardline appeal for a border wall, attempting to rally public support and blaming Democrats for the government shutdown.
All Americans are hurt by uncontrolled illegal migration. It strains public resources and drives down jobs and wages.
But the New York Times reports, despite the president's dire warnings, illegal border crossings by immigrants have been declining for 2 decades. And most of the heroin and other drugs the president says are being smuggled across the southern border, the fact of the matter is more of the drugs are actually coming through legal ports of entry, not across the border. And the State Department recently concluded there is no credible evidence that terrorist groups are infiltrating the U.S. by crossing over at the border with Mexico. And Mr. Trump, as we mentioned, is blaming the Democrats for what he calls the current crisis.
The federal government remains shut down for one reason, and one reason only, because Democrats will not fund border security.
Democrats fired back. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pointing out that the House has already passed a bipartisan bill to reopen the government, but the president, she says, has turned a thumbs down on that.
President Trump must stop holding the American people hostage, must stop manufacturing a crisis, and must reopen the government.
The symbol of America should be the Statue of Liberty, not a 30-foot wall. Mr. President, reopen the government, and we can work to resolve our differences over border security.
Now, tomorrow, President Trump will join Republicans at a weekly issue luncheon to calm some nerves of some lawmakers who are worried about taking the heat for the government shutdown. After that, he's scheduled to meet again with congressional leaders from both parties in an effort to find some common ground on border security and the shutdown, but so far, no indication that either side is making any new concessions. Susie, back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. Now, if the teachers union and the LAUSD do not come to an agreement tomorrow, we may see the first district-wide strike in 30 years. Now, some parents say class sizes that are not manageable and understaffing have been issues for a very long time, so they're standing in solidarity with teachers. The school board passed a resolution, a 3-year enterprise plan that would bring in more money by using measures like a parcel tax and school bonds.
I support the strike because it's important to me and my family that my kids get a proper education. They're fighting for our kids.
Well, the union did not have a response to the district's resolution tonight. While the strike is planned for Thursday, a judge's ruling tomorrow could push back the strike start date by 10 days.
A shocking attack caught on camera. Taxi driver hit over the head with a whiskey bottle and blacks out behind the wheel.
A woman is sexually assaulted at a busy bus stop in Santa Ana. Tonight, the hunt for her predator.
And Google is moving in. We have details of the tech giant's new deal to take over the West Side Pavilion.